Hi Virgo. I hope you guys are doing well. I, and I say that very hesitantly because I know some of us are really at peace with a lot of things in our lives. Um, but that doesn't mean that we're immune to the emotional stuff that's going on. And I think that's the lesson that April is teaching us is and we'll get into that here in a minute. I want to show you guys really quick so I can move it out of the way. The jewelry, I'm so living with a best friend of mine from high school. We came together like right as the pandemic was starting to heighten, and she was like, oh my God, I have this space, blah, blah, blah. So here I am. So we have shifted into a new location. And so she owns her own business and she makes, oh, I didn't bring up any of her other stuff. She makes, she's a graphic designer and she originally makes stuff like coffee mugs, and she has graduation flags, she has regular flags, she has seasonal flags, like yard flags that you can put in your yard. But she specifically made some beautiful crystal jewelry. This is all handmade. Like I watched her make it. It's amazing how she does it. But anyway, so she has crystal jewelry. It'll be available on her website in the next couple of weeks. We've been obviously just as busy as everybody else, kind of getting to a different kind of life. And so it's taking a minute for us to get there. But I just wanted to show you guys. So stay tuned. So there's earrings that match. This is the amethyst one, and they're real crystals. And so I'll be putting Reiki energy in these. They're going to be super affordable. And she also has peridot, which if you're an August Virgo, peridot is your stone. So I love it. But I'm wearing the amethyst one, and all the jewelry that comes from her will have my Reiki energy in it. So stay tuned and I will let you guys know when that stuff is available. Also memberships. Members are getting spoiled right now because I'm not doing personal readings. I want to give everybody a little bit of personal touch. I've had a lot of people say, are you doing personal readings? And I tell them I'm not, but there's a lot of content going on with the memberships. And even though it is still a little bit general, there's a lot of stuff that I don't have to censor myself on in the membership. So like my workshop is going to be available to exclusive members. We have weekly meditations. So if you guys need a little extra support, I know that's kind of asking a lot, but because I'm not doing the personal readings, if you don't want to be a member, you don't have to be. I'm not pushing anybody. I'm just letting you guys know that if you need a little bit more assistance during this time and you're able to do it, becoming a member is the easiest way to do that with me. So you can go below and click the join button to become a member here on YouTube, or you can go to Patreon. All of that information is in the description box. Okay. Hi guys. So, the emotional side of things, like it's very interesting because I am so much at peace with how my life is laying out and how everything is coming out. But damn it, if that that emotional side isn't rearing its ugly head. We've got Venus in Gemini. That's going to be in Gemini until mid-August, or the first week in August, the end of the first week in August. And with Venus in Gemini, with the retrograde, and that being, another sign that we are so closely related with, being that we are ruled by the same planet, and this, the square aspect that's going to happen with anything that's going on with you guys, right? To this Venus quality stuff going on. Love is definitely emotion, love, relationships, family. It's really going to be a big focus for you. And what's really, really interesting about you being so focused on that right now is that is not where the comfort level is, right? It can make us very uncomfortable when we are allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. And so mid-April, now until the end of April, the communication level, Mercury's moved into Aries, and all of that stuff that was sort of in question or sort of up in the air, or you weren't really sure how to handle the situations during Pisces season. Now Mercury's in Aries, and everybody is just, all of the information is flying. Everything's coming at you so fast, and that could lead you down into a rabbit hole, right? So the Knight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. And then the other two cards are the Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Moon. And I feel like somebody said something to you, or I feel like there was a conversation, or there's going to be a conversation. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with things that you're not necessarily seeing or you don't want to see. And we've talked about this before, where if a Virgo is very uncomfortable about something, they're going to ignore it. They're going to procrastinate. They're not going to bring it up. They're not going to approach it, because we like things to be nice and tidy. Even relationships and emotions, right? We like to have the emotions wrapped up in a nice, neat little package with a pretty little bow on top, and that's where we like to keep it. We like to keep it in the nice package, right? When it starts to get uncomfortable, that's when we can really start telling ourselves the fear, right? When it starts to get uncomfortable, that's when the fear shows up. That's when we start lying to ourselves, because the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords is a lack mentality. And sandwiched in between that is the blindfolded Two of Swords, where you need to make a decision. You need to make a decision on how the conversation is happening, or the information that's coming in. Like, you need to make a decision for yourself. But if you feel like you don't have all of the information, and you feel like there are some things that you're not necessarily seeing, I don't want you to make assumptions, and I don't want you to allow yourself to get into expectations when you don't have all of the information. Now, sometimes we have to make decisions when we don't have all of the information, but I feel like maybe this is sort of a situation where you just want it to happen already. Like, things have been going slow enough. Pisces season was a drag. We couldn't handle ourselves. Now we're in Aries season. We're supposed to start fresh. We're supposed to do this. We're supposed to do that. Aries season is about planting the seeds. But Betsy, I already planted the seeds. Water them. Give your loving energy directly to those seeds that you planted. Let Taurus season grow it. You know? And this could be anywhere. It could be in your environment. It could be in your relationships. It could be with yourself. Wherever it is where you're feeling a lack mentality, where you feel like this could be about your purpose. I really want to do something. I really have a lot of things that I want to push forward on with my purpose and with what I'm doing. But I can't do it because of this. Right? It sort of almost feels like you're getting in your own way, because you're taking yourself down the rabbit hole of all of the reasons why it can't happen. And a lot of it is based on because you've lost it or it didn't happen in the past. It has nothing to do with right now in the present moment. So being in the Two of Swords isn't always that bad to be in. Because at least she has to sit there in the present moment, blindfolded, not distracted. I mean, there I go again, taking that positive spin on a card that's not positive. Woohoo! You can easily get out of the Two of Swords. She's not, like, her arms aren't even bound. She could put those swords down in a hot second, take that blindfold off, and see everything really clearly. And, I get it, man. Wanting to build the foundation, and you want to do it based on love. You want to build a foundation, that Three of Pentacles. You want to build that foundation with love and care and support, right? The Three of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups. And it's great. And I know, and it's going to pick up. It really, really, really is going to pick up. But I don't want you to lie to yourself thinking, all right, everything's going to pick up now. And now what do I do with it? I'm not able to do with it. I'm not able to do anything with it. And I think it's confusing. So we also have the King of Swords. So I feel like you're waiting for communication. And that's where the confusion is, right? You're waiting for somebody who is the strong silent type. Maybe they have a lot of air in their chart. Maybe it's a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, sun, moon, or rising. But that King of Swords with the Seven of Cups, I feel like some of you are either getting mixed signals from an air sign, or you feel like you're getting mixed signals from somebody, air sign, and you're like, all I want to do, and the air sign could be legal too. Okay. But the Three of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups, you're like, all I want to do is build something. I just want to start to plant the seeds, and I want to build this foundation. And then we're getting mixed signals from the air sign. And the second that a mixed signal will hit a Virgo, the rabbit hole, right? The Five of Swords starts happening, and you start overthinking it, and you start processing it, and you're like, maybe it'll go this way, maybe it'll go that way. Maybe the reason why it's not happening is because of this. You're thinking of all of the reasons why it's not going to work or why it's not going to happen. And then the sun comes out. Maybe a Leo lied to you. Maybe that's who the King of Swords is. Maybe there's a strong silent type, and a Leo lied to you, and it was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. Or maybe you were lying to yourself and the sun came out and you were like, oh. Or you spoke some peace. You spoke your truth. You spoke some peace. See how I said that first? I didn't mean that. I meant you spoke your truth, and it created peace. But speaking your peace is good too, right? So where you were in the moon down here, and that Libra full moon that we just had was no joke. No joke. That Capricorn moon that we had yesterday that squared Chiron in Aries, no joke. It squared, it conjoined with Pluto and Jupiter, and it squared Chiron in Aries yesterday, and it was a bitch. Bad. So speaking your truth and allowing yourself to get some peace took you out of that I don't know what's going on phase, right? Because the sun came out. You could also be dealing with a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Two of Swords. And that's where the shift happens. When the sun comes out, you're no longer blindfolded. I'm also kind of wondering if that sun came out, burned the hell out of those swords, and you thought, oh, damn, I better put these down. Some of you, actually, this shift probably was something that was like a shocking aha moment that sort of came out of nowhere, and you were like, oh, damn, I need to listen. A lot of times that's the way that Wheel of Fortune will show up. There's always a positive on the other side, right? But if you're holding on to all of that unknown, I love this because I can hold the sun in my hand. So we shift. And when we shift, because the Five of Cups with the moon down here, the only reason why you're in the Five of Cups is because you don't know. So I told a story about how Jack and I were building Legos last week. And we got a really big Lego Minecraft thing to put together. And I, like, even with my older two boys, I couldn't be bothered to do Legos with them because it annoyed me. I was really annoyed by it back then. I don't know why. But I did do Legos, but I didn't enjoy myself in the way that I enjoyed myself doing them with Jack. And my best friend said to me, my best friend said to me, um, the reason why you're enjoying yourself is because you have control over the outcome. And I thought, oh my God, he's so right. I have control over my outcome. And when we don't have control over the outcome and we don't know what it's going to be, we lose ourselves. And we go to I'm surprised there aren't 10 of swords and all of that out here, going to the worst possible case scenario. The Five of Cups, you can make yourself believe that nothing is ever going to turn out in your favor, or you can, and a lot of that has to do with the things that people have said to you, or the things that you have been told throughout your life to make you feel like you're not necessarily good enough for whatever it is that you've been planting, if you will. But the Seven of Wands with the Five of Cups, allowing yourself to hold healthy, loving boundaries releases expectations. And even if it doesn't fully release expectations, because I found myself telling my truth yesterday, and I was scared after doing it. I was very, very scared because it was to a person that I didn't want to lose. And I've lost so many people in my life from telling my truth or being honest, or I had been beaten up, not physically, but like mentally and spiritually and emotionally abused for speaking my truth, being gaslit, all that stuff, right? So when I did it yesterday, knowing fully that I could trust the person that I was speaking my truth to, but still really, really scared that it was going to make this person go away out of my life, that is scary. I mean, like, you have to get used to when you have good people in your life, when you start rebuilding with good people, good solid people in your life, Three of Pentacles on the Nine of Cups, you don't have to be afraid of speaking your truth because they get you. And even if they don't get you, there's a respect there on a level that people who don't love you and aren't part of your tribe won't try to understand. Correct? You see what I'm saying? So it's a learning curve. And in this day and age, because life is no longer the same as it was before, in this day and age, learning curves are a part of our daily reality. And so it's very hard to remind yourself that you also have to remain learning and allow that curve to happen when it comes to your purpose and living your ultimate truth, right? So boundaries, Seven of Wands on that Five of Cups, that's going to certainly bring the sun out. It's going to shed a lot on the way that you are lying to yourself. And truly, that's what I feel like this reading might be. I feel like this reading is more about, and it could be because somebody hurt you in the past or in the present or whatever. But I feel like this is more of a personal experience that Virgo's going through in the last 2 weeks, because life has changed for the better in so many ways, but we have to continuously remind ourselves of why. And it's because you created your own reality. You chose Six of Swords over the Five of Swords. You chose the sun over the lie, right? You chose to have the sun in your life over the Five of Swords. And then we have the Six of Swords on the moon. So allowing yourself, regardless of the direction that you're headed in, regardless of the end journey, right? You're still allowing yourself to move from rough waters into calmer waters. And you're allowing yourself to see a future, even if that future is unknown, you're still allowing yourself to see it because, again, 9 of Pentacles with the 3 of Wands, you're creating your own reality. And then we have the Knight of Wands with the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups with the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Look at that. So you could be dealing with a water sign, an air sign, maybe even another earth sign. But here's the thing. I feel like that King of Pentacles really is your energy. And I feel like there's this balance that you're creating as we go into May, that seeing where you might be lacking in one way with the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles is there. It's like you're reminding yourself, or you're maybe even being reminded that the more you take care of yourself and the more self-care that you have, the less you're going to feel like you're lacking, even if things haven't quite come together yet. You know what I mean? Remembering how powerful you are and how you can manifest stuff. Now, if you're a little bit worried about this water sign and you're sort of like going back and forth with them and you're not entirely sure what you want to do about this person, you know, and maybe it's you. Maybe you're back and forth about you. I don't know. I feel like with this water sign, more than anything, you need to make sure that your mental and emotional capacity is in order before you're giving it to anybody else. So if you're using extra energy by like, I don't know what to do about this person, they're so in and out, they're back and forth, I'm not really sure, right? That is, that's more mental capacity than you should be holding on to right now. Because it's not just a mental capacity, it's a mental emotional capacity. And Virgos aren't necessarily comfortable with that. So just give it a rest for the next 2 weeks. If you need to come back and have the conversation in May, that might be a little bit better time frame. I feel like now is not the time to figure something out or to be very decisive about anything. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for your patience with this. I had to get oral surgery done, so that's why it's taken me so long to get this up. And I appreciate everybody's love and support, and I'm starting to feel so much better. And yeah, come join us on the memberships. We're gonna have so much fun, and come check me out on Instagram and Twitter too. I'm really active over there right now as well. I love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your April, and I'll see you for May readings. Bye.